A federal judge has issued a striking order for Special Prosecutor Jack Smith to present a comprehensive evidentiary argument concerning Trump's alleged crimes by a notably significant date. This requirement starkly underscores the legal obstacles that loom large over Trump, raising the question, how will the unfolding events shape the trajectory of his political future? In a desperate bid, Trump's legal team has sought to delay the proceedings, attempting to postpone the consideration of crucial evidence until after the pivotal election. What do their maneuvers reveal about the high stakes of this political arena? It's a vivid reminder of the implications that the upcoming election holds for all involved. Adding another layer of complexity, the Supreme Court has previously granted Trump a measure of criminal immunity, which complicates his already tumultuous legal battles. How will this new ruling serve as a potential turning point in how presidential candidates are prosecuted in the years to come? The echoes of this decision may reverberate through legal corridors for years. Justice Clarence Thomas has voiced his belief that Jack Smith's appointment is unconstitutional. Yet, his opinion carries no legal weight in this case, highlighting the intriguing differences in perspectives among justices. What does this divergence say about the ongoing debates surrounding the judiciary? The 11th Circuit Court has rendered a ruling on the constitutionality of special counsels, establishing a binding precedent that Judge Chutkan must consider in her deliberations. How does this recent development amplify the already formidable challenges facing Trump's defense team? It's a precarious tightrope they must navigate. Trump's defense strategy, which relies on motions anchored in opinions from other judges, could falter, particularly given the weight of established precedents. Are they merely grasping at straws, reflecting a struggle to find a solid legal footing amidst the rising tide of opposition? Beyond the courtroom, economic realities paint a stark picture. Many grandparents find themselves unable to retire, burdened by the demands of childcare. This growing concern raises a critical question. How can we develop affordable childcare solutions to address the urgent needs of today's families? J.D. Vance's comments resonate with a broader societal issue, where working-class families grapple with the scarcity of adequate childcare solutions. With many families unable to afford alternatives or relying heavily on extended family, what does this say about the fabric of our community? The discussion amplifies the inadequacy of existing welfare systems to support families in dire need of childcare. Many retirees, heavily reliant on Social Security, complicate their own circumstances, rendering them less capable of stepping in. How do these systemic flaws reflect deeper societal issues? In a shocking turn, the video delves into J.D. Vance's controversial views on women's roles, particularly when it comes to childbirth and work. His perspective reveals a troubling disconnect from women's actual experiences, raising alarming questions about societal expectations and the autonomy afforded to women in their choices. It further explores the economic struggles faced by women working in childcare facilities. Despite their critical roles, they often remain part of the working poor. This unsettling reality underscores the pressing need for adequate support for these essential services that women predominantly provide. What systemic changes are necessary to address this imbalance? The commentary sharply critiques the incoherence of political responses to the escalating costs of childcare. It casts a glaring light on the absence of meaningful policy that genuinely addresses the needs of working-class families. Where do we go from here, and how do we reshape political priorities to align with women's economic realities? The ethical implications surrounding the acceptance of gifts while serving as a justice come to the forefront, particularly with the involvement of Thomas's wife, Jenny, in right-wing activism. This connection stirs concerns about the potential influence on Thomas's judicial decisions. How deep do such connections go? Amidst these discussions, ongoing efforts by Democrats to implement ethical reforms for the Supreme Court are met with resistance from groups backing Thomas. The pursuit of holding justices to standards akin to those required of federal employees raises pressing questions about accountability in our highest courts. Recent revelations hint at a religious liberty group's backing for Justice Thomas, showcasing organized efforts to maintain his position and influence within the court. What does this surge of support signal about the intricate dance between religion and politics in judicial matters? In a disconcerting revelation, his comments reflect a troubling detachment from reality, particularly concerning immigration and economic issues. This strategy appears aimed at energizing his base, but could this misrepresentation alter public perception leading up to the election? Critics have begun to argue that Trump's rhetoric surrounding childcare and economic matters lacks a genuine understanding of the issues at hand. It seems to reflect a broader pattern of misleading statements designed to secure electoral backing. What are the implications of this disconnect? As the upcoming debate looms on the horizon, it is poised to become a pivotal moment where Trump will face candid questions that could potentially expose his inconsistencies and the absence of concrete plans. How will this challenge his typically reframed narrative and approach? The response to Trump's economic proposals has thus far illuminated a glaring absence of new or specific policies, igniting concerns over their actual implementation and effectiveness. Many attendees have begun to note the disconnection between his narratives and the lived experiences of everyday Americans. The conversation shifts to the implications of corporate tax rates and their impact on the stock market, with critics raising pointed questions about how these cuts would be funded and the potential repercussions for the economy. What does this mean for the fiscal landscape ahead? In a striking contrast, Kamala Harris's approach to economic policy diverges from Biden's, as she emphasizes a pro-business agenda while addressing the economic pain felt by many Americans. Could this shift in communication strategy influence voter sentiments as the election approaches? Yet, Trump's economic policies face sharp criticism for being inflationary, with tariffs raising costs and adversely affecting sectors such as agriculture. What are the wider implications of these policies on the overall economic health of the country? Furthermore, the spotlight shines on Elon Musk's potential influence in a Trump administration, sparking speculation about his role and the implications of effectively having a shadow president. Just how might this reshape the corridors of power? The dialogue then revisits Trump's previous attempts to reorganize the federal workforce, elevating critical questions about the significant changes that might arise if he were to reclaim power. What transformative shifts could we anticipate should he return to the forefront of governance?